Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Before chanting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of God, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. I was reading um, last night. So, yung iba kilala ako, nag-reply pa ako ng minsan madaling araw. No? Kasabay nun, kasi nagbabasa talaga ako. Ayun yung oras ko, todo-todo magbasa. And I read an article na minsan we should hear yung mga scriptures, lectures, Srimad Bhagavatam, and even Bhagavad Gita. Minsan, kahit di natin naiintindihan. Because it greatly affects our consciousness. I've heard the story sa Hong Kong. Some of the Hong Kong devotees were not able to understand clearly yung English language. And during those times, wala silang translator. Pero they were encouraged to just sit in the temple room and listen to the lecture, English lecture, galing sa isang foreign devotee. So they were just there. They will listen, even without understanding it. But they've mentioned that it greatly affects them. Imagine na hindi lang hindi naintindihan yung context, hindi talaga naintindihan yung language. But it greatly affects them, the vibration of the mantras, the words of Srila Prabhupada, the words of Vyasadeva, the Sanskrit terms. They're just listening. What more pa if we could understand? Given it in our own language, we have the facility to read, to study. It will greatly affect us. So, ganun ka-importante yung Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's how important to worship Srimad Bhagavatam by reading it, studying, or hearing from it. And of course, to serve yung mga person Bhagavat, those who are living their lives according sa Srimad Bhagavatam. And si Bhishma, ang ating personality that we're discussing, he is on the verge of death. Pero glorious yung death niya. Glorious yung stage na to. He is surrounded by great personalities. Hare Krishna Prabhav Prabhu. We're honored to have and Brindavan Kirtan Das. Those who are watching in live, Facebook Live. And we're very fortunate to have this opportunity to study a life of a great personality. In the scriptures, we have 12 Mahajans. They are pure devotees of Krishna. Hindi lahat doon nasa line ng mga great personality or great family lang. Marami doon galing sa lineage ng mga demoniac family. But even them became devotee. And Bhishma even, kalaban siya ng Pandavas in the war. He is a great devotee, of course, arrangement ni Krishna yun. And he is one of the Mahajans. Mahajans means they are great personalities, great devotee of Krishna, and we should follow their footsteps. So, Bhishma is on the verge ng kanyang death. He is surrounded by great personalities as well. Yung iba dun, Mahajans din. The Pandavas were there. The Kauravas, pumunta rin yung mga ibang nandun. Then, si Krishna nandun sa deathbed niya. Pero si Bhishma, hindi siya, di ako makahinga. Too much pain. pagdasal niyo ako, sana gumaling ako. Hindi siya ganong klaseng personality habang ano siya sa stage na yon. No, he's very sober. Yung consciousness niya, very sound and clear. And straight yung kanyang speaking because he will also give instructions. So, continued reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the part 2 ng Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, creation. We are on chapter 9, the passing away of Bhishmadev. Text number 12. Bhishmadev said, "Oh, what terrible sufferings and what terrible injustices you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations. Yet you were protected by the Brahmanas, God, and religion." So si Bhishmadev, alam niya yung mga kaganapan sa Mahabharat nangyari before yung war. He was living together with Dhritarashtra. Actually, pamangkin niya yun. Si Dhritarashtra. Apo niya si Pandava, saka yung sila Duridan, yung Kauravas. Apo niya yung mga yun. And he saw, nung mga bata pa lang yung Pandavas and Kauravas, he saw kung paano gawan ng masasama yung Pandavas na planado ng mga Kauravas. Yung mga, all types of being an aggressor, ginawa sa kanila. Nilaso nila si Bhima, the poison cake story sa Mahabharat. Tapos, they arranged para magkaroon sila ng vacation sa House of Black. Meron silang, what do you call that? They built a castle, they built a kingdom made of flammable material. Tapos nandun yung Pandavas, they make a plan para pag nasa loob yung Pandavas, pag sinunog, mukha siyang accident lang. Then, they stole yung mga lands nila, they stole yung mga armories, yung wealth ng Pandavas. They even wanted to stole yung wife ng Pandavas. So basically, halos lahat, lahat ng type ng aggressive behavior na pwedeng gawin ng isang tao, which is punishable by death, ginawa sa Pandavas. That is why eminent yung war. Lahat yun na witness ni Bhishma. And he is saying, what terrible sufferings and terrible injustices you good souls. Kasi alam niya, sobrang good soul ng mga Pandavas. Of course, kailan natin, pangalawa dun, sa magkakapatid si Bhishma. Una si Yudhishthir, si Bhishma. Si Bhishma yung magagalitin. Siya yung isa sa pinakamalakas sa kanila. 1,000 elephants nga daw yung lakas niya. Pag nag-aaway siya, may kalaban siyang demon or may kalaban siyang enemy. Gano'n siya kalakas? He will uproot a tree. Tapos ayun yung hinahampas niya dun sa kalaban niya. Ang hirap nga mag-uproot lang ng medyo parang maliit na halaman, di ba? Because yung roots nun, very established siya, nag-i-establish na sa soil. What more pa yung talagang full-grown tree. Ina-uproot nila yun. Ina-uproot ni Bhima yun. Tapos hinahampas. So si Bhishma is, malaki talaga siya. Malakas siya. Ayun yung isang role niya. Ayun ang lakas niya kumain. Sabi daw, pag nag-travel sila, yung Pandavas, half ng food is kay Bhishma. Half papaghati-hatian ng magkakapatid. Saka yung mga kasama nila, mga saintly person, madami yon. Pero kalahati nung kay Bhishma. So, may nagagalit si Bhishma. He wanted to always retaliate. Even si Arjuna and yung dalawang kambal. Trivia daw yung kambal na yung sobrang guwapo nila, sobrang pogi nila, handsome sila. When they went to exile, kaya nila mag-disguise. Maglagay ng putek, ng soil sa face nila. Para they won't attract yung mga babae kasi they are focused doon sa mga pag-exile sa kanila sa forest. So, This characteristics, this character, this personality, naka-experience ng ganito. They are saintly, they are following the dharma or religiosity. They are even in the royal family, and even they are great friends kay Krishna. Naka-experience sila ng mga ganitong tribulation. Mamaya malalaman natin in a while, bakit ganon? Bakit sila pa? It was emphasized here by Bhishma, grandfather Bhishma. May 3 points na nagpo-protect sa Pandavas. The Brahmanas, those are the saintly persons. The priests, in that order, the Brahmanas. Bakit? Lagi sila nag-serve sa Brahmanas. They are Kshatriyas, they are leaders of the society. They have advisors. At the same time, they protect yung Brahmanas. They provide how they will maintain themselves. So the Brahmanas could focus on studying, sharing the Vedas, sharing the scriptures to others, guiding yung whole society actually, because they are advising the leaders. They're following the orders as well. So they are protecting the Brahmanas. Pero sa totoo, the Brahmanas are protecting them. So by their guidance, at the same time, guidance nila, they're following religious principles or dharma. Yung Pandavas, kung paano sila nag-act sa buhay nila and also in their leadership, guided siya ng scriptures. Guided siya ng principles of the scriptures. Kaya mga saintly kings sila. Saintly personalities, even in the garb ng pagiging soldier. So they're following it. Naka-base yung leadership nila, yung management nila sa society, sa buong mundo, in scriptures. So doon mo matatawag na religious yung isang tao because their map ng buhay nila is yung scriptures. And also, they are protected by Krishna, by God. Kapag meron kang tatlong to, you're pleasing them. You're living your life according to this tree, listening to the Brahmanas, specifically the spiritual masters, dun sa Diksha and Shiksha gurus, and having the association of saintly person, surrounding yourself with devotees, basically. You are following the scriptures, and of course, Krishna. Sa kanila, perfectly, kasama nila si Krishna, physically and by heart. So pareho. They're protected daw kahit naranasan nila to. Paano naging protected? And grabe nga yung mga tribulations ng mga Pandavas, di ba? Pero ito, yung ina-emphasize ni Bhishma. Sa Pandavas na, you have this tree, you are protected. Text number 13. As far as my daughter-in-law Kunti is concerned, upon the great general Pandu's death, she became a widow with many children, and therefore she suffered greatly. And when you were grown up, she suffered a great deal, also because of your actions. So yung mom nila ng Pandava, si Kunti Devi. Si Kunti Devi, if you could remember, siya yung nagdadasal kay Krishna. Bigyan mo na yung tribulations lahat sa akin para maalala kita. Ganon ka wild, ganon ka to conceive or to perceive yung klaseng prayer na meron si Queen Kunti. Sabi nga nung ibang devotees, that's good, pero wag mo dadasalin nyo kasi baka dumating nga. Pa isa-isa nga lang tayo ng problems and tribulations. Parang, Krishna, bigat naman. What more pag dinasal mo yon? Para tingin mo na lahat sa akin ng tribulations sa buhay, sabay-sabay, para maalala kita, Krishna. Sabi nung devotee, don't pray for that yet, or at least even masyado mataas yung level ng ganong intensity. But we're following the footsteps. And yung learning doon. Kasi ganoon siya ka-surrendered kay Krishna. She has experienced almost everything. And she has facilities as well. Great sons. Pero kapag may trouble, nandun si Krishna palagi, pupunta personally. Us, of course, pag may trouble tayo, ayun nga yung analogy. Naalala natin si Krishna kapag may problema. Mahirap maalala si Krishna pag sobrang happy lang, merry lang. So that's the analogy of that. So si Queen Kunti, padatingin mo na rito yung lahat ng tribulations para kasama ka lang namin. Dinadamayan mo kami. She knows what's the priority. What's much more important. So sabi dito, she became a widow. Bata pa lang si Pandavas na agad namatay yung tatay na nila si Pandu. Siya nga actually yung sinasabi ritong religion personified. The sons of religion personified. Kasi tatay ni tatay ni Yudhishthir is si Dharmaraj. But also si Pandu is very religious emperor. Pero yung mga emperor na yon, yung mga Kshatriya na yon, dito nanggaling yung mga hunting sa forest. They're the only one allowed to hunt sa forest para makontrol yung population of forest. At the same time, that is their practice para sa battle saka sa warfare. So, it is a religious offer then, activities. Pero may pagkakamali na gawa si Pandu. Meron siyang tinamaan, pinana, using the bow and arrow, na a deer na having intercourse. And in the rule sa codes of war, you cannot kill those without weapon, tapos umiihi or nag-defecate or even having sleeping or even having intercourse. Even in hunting, may ganong rule din. Ayun yung pinana ni Pandu by the will ni Maya. Of course, by Krishna as well. Nung pinana niya yung deer na yon, biglang naging tao. Isa pala sang sage na have to garb sa body ng deer to have to copulate. Tas he cursed Pandu. Sabi niya, since you broke yung codes ng hunting and you tried to kill me, you shoot your arrow towards me habang nakipag intercourse siya. Kapag you will have your intercourse, you will die. So, when that happened, tinanggap ni Pandu yung curse na yon. And ayun yung reason bakit hindi siya yung biological father ng Pandavas. Si Kunti has this boon na he could call yung mga demigods. Para yung demigods na yon could beget a child sa kanya. Prior pa lang nabigyan na siya nun kasi of course, arrangement, alam na mangyayari to. So, si Yudhishthir is the son of Yamaraj or Dharmaraj, the demigod of justice. Sumunod sa kanya si Bhishma. Bhishma is son of the wind god, si Vayu. Kaya officially kapatid niya si Hanuman. Si Arjuna is the son of King of Heavens, king ng mga demigods, si Lord Indra. And yung anak ni Pandavas, officially anak ni Mother yun. Pero they were considered anak din ni Kunti. Si Mother yung second wife. Sahadev and Nakula, the twins, is anak sila ng twin din na demigod. So, ayun yung backstory nun. So, they are actually descendant of Pandu at the same time, anak sila ng mga demigods. So, high personality. Great personality. Great characteristics. And very virtuous. Pero, they still suffered. Si Kunti, nag-suffered. Being the mom. Sabi nga, mas mag-suffer daw yung nanay kapag nakikita niyo anak niya suffering. So, grabe yung suffering daw nila. Bakit daw nangyayari to? Sabi ni Bhishma, in my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time, under whose control everyone in every planet is carried, just as the clouds are carried by the wind. So imagine na, si Bhishma mamamatay na siya. Pero he's speaking mga wisdom, truths, and even connecting deeply dun sa Pandavas. Sabi niya, yung nangyari itong mga sufferings na nangyari sa inyo, this is because of time. Inevitable time. Actually, lahat nga ng tao, lahat ng living entity, sa lahat ng planets sa buong creation ng material world, is under time. Just like, kung paano daw nag-move yung clouds by the air, ganun din, nag-move yung mga tao because of time. And it was mentioned here actually, yung mga planets sa buong mundo, I mean, planets sa buong creation, buong universe, hindi lang sa universe natin, sa lahat ng universes, is floating because of air. What more pa yung clouds, di ba? Mag-move yung clouds. So, similarly, this is the inevitable time, or Kala. In the chapter 11 sa Bhagavad Gita, we discussed this. After si Krishna, nag-perform ng different features niya, and pinakita niya yung universal form, si Arjuna was shaken. Yung being a student na relationship niya, bigla napunta doon sa own reverence na nanginginig pa siya. And he asked Krishna in the universal form niya, who are you and what is your purpose? Sabi ni Krishna as the universal form, time, I am the destroyer of everything. So yes, si Krishna yung time. The destroyer of everything, the reason bakit nag-move yun sa paligid natin. And actually, sobrang kakaiba yung time. Minsan may ma-experience ka napakabilis ng time. Diba? Parang relatively, pag may magandang bagay kang inantay, tas dumating na siya, like those who are in the long distance relationship, pag magkasama sila ng loved one niya, they may be together for a few months, few weeks, or few days lang. Pero tapos na kaagad, alis ka na kaagad, kailangan mo na ulit umakit, sumampa ng barko, kailangan mo na ulit bumalik sa work mo sa ibang bansa. Ganon kabilis yung time. Kapag yung mga inantay mo na matagal, lalong mas matagal mo inantay, lalong mas nag-excited ka, lalong mas mabilis yung time. Habang yung papunta ka doon, habang inaantay mo yun, ang tagal dumating yung time. Kunyari, yung mabilis na time, kunyari nag-exam ka, imagine mo yung board exam mo, di ba? Laging kulang yung time. Pero bago yun, yung preparation, ang tagal. Isang na-realize ko, nag-extend yung time, very practical to. Pag nag-yoga ka, tapos yung pinakamahirap na posture, yung mga yoga, bhakti yoga natin, yung mga Radha Yogi natin. Pag may isang posture ka, napakahirap, nanginginig na yung muscles mo. Tapos 5 breaths pa daw. Tagal, di ba? Jonas kasi siya. Ang tagal, di ba? Tagal na ito. Kasi ito yung pinaka, hindi ko favorite sa mga exercise. Bira ko gawin to. Few times a year lang. Try mo mag-planking. Plank ka nga ganun. O yeah, saka utasana. Utkatsana. Anto? Utkatasana. Yan. Or mag-try mag-planking. Di ba? May iba nagka-planking ng 5 minutes, ng 10 minutes. Or chair pose. Di ba? Hindi ang tagal di ba? Yung ibang posture, okay lang. Parang, pag nag-phone ka or nakilig ka ng music or yung ibang flow mo sa yoga, smooth, di ba? Parang bitin pa nga pag naka-downward dog ka tapos open yung yung shoulder mo saka yung hips mo, yung likod mo, ang ganda-ganda, di ba? Parang okay pa to, pwede pa i-deep. Pero yung mga ganitong mga posture, parang grabe naman, tagal naman magbilang nung yoga teacher. Binibitin pa yung breaths. Parang 5 count lang dapat ah. Kasi ba nag-extend yung time? Yung planking ganun din, parang yung 30 seconds, ang tagal-tagal. Feeling mo ilang oras na yun. Tapos pag tinitignan mo yung, ayun dami. Tapos dami ko ng teacher. Ang dami yung mga in-explain habang na doon ka sa mahirap na position. Inhale, tapos magkakwento na madami. Tapos doon ka pala mag-exhale. So, ganun yung time. Very, ano siya, very inconceivable actually. Naglalaro siya, depende sa sitwasyon natin. Same thing. Yung time nung langgam, maiksi lang yun. Yung time na favorite mong pet, they would last 7, 13 years. Yung aso, ganun yung life cycle nila. Yung lifespan nila, ganun lang. Iksi, di ba? Pero compare mo sa tao, we have, say what, 80 max, 100. Kasi mas, pag ano na, uga-uga na, hirap na talaga yung tao na yun. Pero yung aso na yun, with 7 years, 13 years katumbas sa atin, nakita mo, 1-year-old, naging adult na siya, di ba? Nagbinata na, nagdalaga na yung aso, di ba? Nagkaasawa, nagkaanak, nagkapamilya, parang 2 years pa lang to. May pamilya na siya. Minsan magkakaapo na, di ba? Nakailang batch na ng asawa, saka na ilang batch na ng anak. Ang dami nangyayari within that 7 years. Nakikita mo hanggang maging lolo na siya. Tapos, ano na, ika-ika na, puti na yung buhok, marami ng sakit or malabo na yung mata. Same thing. Sa kanya, 7 years lang, pero sobrang tagal na sa atin nun. Sa kanya, yung isang araw, saka yung isang gabi, napakatagal sa kanya yun. Kasi mas maiksi sa kanila ng ano eh, ng yung time ng ilang percent. Actually, ganun nga daw sa atin. Yung 6 months ng demigods, ay 6 months natin, 1 day lang demigod. Another 6 months is 1 night nila. What more pa kay Lord Brahma? Si Lord Brahma, nasa tanghali daw tayo ni Lord Brahma ngayon. Ilang yuga yung dadating. Ilang Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. Ilang Kali Yuga yung iikot para malagpasan yung tanghali niya. Tapos, wala pa sa isang araw yon. Ilang years na sa atin. Yung isang life ni Lord Brahma, that will be katumbas sa 100 years niya. Isang breath lang, isang hinga lang ni Mahavishnu. Pag exhale niya, another. Ganun ulit sa life ni Lord Brahma. So that is time. That is Krishna. And wala daw makakapigil ng time na to. Text number, ano binasa natin kanina? 12. Ayan, sabi nga dun sa 14. Basahin natin yung last sentence ni Sri Prabhupada. These 3 guiding principles should be the aim of life. One should not be disturbed by the tricks of eternal time. Even the great controller of the universe, Brahmaji, is also under the control of that time. Therefore, one should not grudge being thus controlled by time despite being a true follower of religious principle. Even though those devotees, great personalities na, and yung first being dito sa material creation, which is Lord Brahma, is under time. May story nga, yung isang demon nag-perform ng yoga asana. Alam ko 3 pose yata yun. Tapos, thousands of years hindi mo siya si Hiranyakashipu, yung kalaban ni Lord Nishingadev. Sobrang tagal niya ginawa yon. Tinubuan na siya ng anthill. May anthill na, tabunan na siya. Tapos kinain na ng ants yung katawan niya. Tapos di siya gumagalaw. Tapos ang tagal na lumipas, ilang taon na, thousands years na. Pero na-disturb yung buong mundo. Tapos Brahmaji would, the other demigods approach Lord Brahma. There is a demon who was performing penances and sacrifices. And nadi-disturb na lahat. Yung mga elements nadi-disturb na because of very strong determination ng demon na yun. So it only shows, hindi porket nag-yoga ka, ano ka na, angel ka na. Even demons are performing this. And nagkakaroon din sila ng mystic powers. Paano? Si Lord Brahma, approach si Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, okay na yan. Diba? Na-please mo na kami. Dito na ako. Ano yung boon na gusto mo gawin? You can stop that. Pero bago niya makita si Hiranyakashipu, actually hirap na hirap sila. Kasi tinubuan na siya ng ibang ecosystem sa paligid, pero ginagawa pa rin niya yung yoga posture niya. So, nung nahanap na si Hiranyakashipu demon, sabi niya, okay, ano yung gusto mo? Hiranyakashipu gusto niya maging immortal. Sabi ni Lord Brahma, that's the thing. Hindi ko mabibigay sa'yo yan, Hiranyakashipu. Kasi even me, the first being, the first progenitor, kung saan nanggaling din yung demons sa yung demigods, is bound by time. Hindi ako immortal, so hindi ko mabibigay sa'yo. Of course, si Hiranyakashipu made a deal na lang kay Lord Brahma, hindi siya papatayin ng animals, or hindi siya mapatay ng tao, hindi siya mapatay na umaga sa gabi, hindi siya mapatay by weapons, hindi siya mapatay sa loob sa labas ng bahay. Ang dami niyang kondisyon. Hindi siya mamamatay sa land or sa air, parang magmukhang immortal. So, but yeah, he was not immortal. Pinatay siya ni Lord Nishingadev. So, basically, yung point dito, even Brahmaji, the first created being, is bound by time. So, what more? Sabi nga, yung mga great personalities, just like Bhishma, hindi sila disturb. Normal na dadating yan. Kasabay na dadating yan because of time, tribulations, happiness and distress. Yung dualities na yan. They are not taking grudge. Hindi sila nag-resist dun sa pangyayari na yun. Because they know Krishna is time. Text number 15. Oh, how wonderful is the influence of inevitable time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be reverse in the presence of King Yudhishthir, the son of the demigod controlling religion? Bhima, the great fighter with a club, the great bowman Arjuna with his mighty weapon Gandiva, and above all, the Lord, the direct well-wisher of the Pandavas. Bhishma is saying here, yung time daw, irreversible. Kahit gaano pa karaming movie regarding sa Back to the Future, kahit gaano pa karaming time machine na effort paggawa nun, hindi talaga mabalik yung time. Even mountains of gold, lahat ng wealth na meron ka, mountains of gold nga, diba? Yung mountain, enormous na sobrang laki na nun. Paano pa yung mountains of gold? Sabi daw, hindi mo mababayaran, hindi mo papalitan even a moment yung ng isang time na nag-pass by. Mountains of gold could not buy a moment that passed by. Ganun yung time. Ganun siya ka-irreversible. And influential yung time na yun. Lahat tayo would age. And people are in the illusion of youth. Lagi nila kinokontra yung time, yung aging process. Diba? Bakit uso yung industry na cosmetic industry, yung mga cosmetic surgeries? Because of the illusion of youth. They want to be young forever, look young forever, feel young forever. But it will not happen. Unless nag-yoga ka. Yung iba nag-yoga, mukhang bata pa rin. 50 years old na, 60, 70. Alam nila yung mga yan. So, parang, yun ang magbabago age mo. So, anyway, ito yun, yung may illusion of youth. And, totoo daw yun na kahit matanda na yung body, kahit ang dami ng sakit, yung will, yung mind, para siyang bata pa rin. The only thing is, ayaw na ng body. Yung drive natin, andun pa. parang young one pa rin, parang teenager, parang 20s lang. Pero yung body, ayaw na sumunod. Kailangan na niya magpahinga. Kailangan niya na matulog. Hindi na niya kaya magpuyat. That's the body. And nangyayari yon. Everything dito sa material world is bound by time. It will age, na doon yung wear and tear. It will be destroyed in time. Hindi na siya makabalik. What more pa yung mga maling nagawa natin? Yung mga words na nabitawan natin na hindi natin gustong lumabas. Or minsan yung mga comment mo na hindi mo ma-unsend. Diba? Hindi mo na babalik yung time na yun. And may mga decision in time na yung consequences sobrang layo, sobrang tagal. Sobrang haba. Like years or decades or even centuries or even thousands of years. Just like si Ashvatam. Hindi na niya babalik yung time na yun. He could wish. Pero ngayon, hanggang ngayon mismo, at this very moment, he is suffering yung curse sa kanya to be just alone and lonely. For may 5,000 years na, more 5,000 years more. Because of time. Sabi dito, binanggit yung mga parents ni Pandavas. Actually, wala silang scarcity sa material things. Mayaman nga sila eh. Diba? Yung parents nila mga demigods. Yung dad nila mga demigods. Iba-iba pa sila. Diba? They have no scarcity. Well-equipped sila. Tapos mga great warriors. Kahit kasama nila si Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, still, hindi nila mababalik yung time. Krishna may be good if he wanted to. Pero the rest of the Pandavas, they could not. Sabi nga ni Sri Prabhupada, despite the power of pious acts, the power of personalities, the power of expert management, and the power of weapons under direct supervision of Lord Krishna, kahit meron sila noon, the Pandavas suffered so many practical reverses. Sobrang affected sila noon. It doesn't mean na one is well-to-do, one is living as aristocrat, famous. Even nga dito, may pious activities sila eh. Expert in management, o kaya leader, or alam mo yun, may following. Even with weapons, lahat sila affected pa rin. All these material things wouldn't solve yung mga problems of life, which is birth, disease, old age, and death. Ayan yung 4 main problems of life. Hindi siya ma-solve. So even this, yung tribulation na nangyari sa kanila, yung mga miseries na yun, hindi ma-solve ng time. So ganun naglalaro yung time. It could be longer. It could be, you could perceive it as so fast. Tapos one could not reverse it. And kasama nung time na yon is yung mga sufferings, happiness, and distress. But it will all pass. And if one knows this, actually, hindi mo na kailangang i-resist. At the same time, sabi ni Sri Prabhupada, there is nothing to be lamented when a matter is beyond the control of any human being. So ultimately, wala tayong control sa time. Kasi si Krishna yon. May mga bagay tayong in control or influence, may influence tayo, circle of influence natin. Pero very little lang yon. May mga taong may influence tayo, we could influence them. And maraming wala. Even yung sarili natin, madalas hindi natin makontrol. What more pa in time? And those sober person, wise person, those who knows this, they say, hindi mo kailangan maglament. Kasama yan. Diba? People will die. Living beings sa paligid natin, they will die. Pag may birth nga daw, there's death. Hindi mo kailangan maglament ng todo-todo. Kasi they are in their journey as well. Ganun din yung mga material things. Yung material na bagay, man sila masira in time. Tribulations, ganun din. Darating din talaga siya. Pandemic, dadating yung pandemic. Mawala yung pandemic, yes. Madadating yung araw na rin yun. Matapos din yan. Pero sana mabilis, no? Tagal eh. Para siyang para ka naka-planking na pag if those who have experienced isolating themselves for 2 weeks, ang tagal. Diba? Although ako sanay na ako, lagi ako naka-isolate kasi lagi I'm moving around. So hindi ako masyadong halubilo even inside the temple. So lagi ako nasa ashram lang. Ang tagal, yung 2 weeks na yun, will be sobrang tagal. So nakakainip si pandemic. Sabi niya sa text number 16, O King, no one can know the plan of the Lord, Shri Krishna. Even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. Even scholar ka pa. Even great astrologer ka. May mga tanong ng tanong, anong oras ka pinanganak? Lagi mahilig sa meme na yun, sila Trina yun, saka sila John. May mahilig sa birth chart. Diba? Even astrologer ka, sabi nga, even scientists, sa great philosophers, hindi nila malalaman yung plan ni Krishna. We could only see it kapag lumagpas na. Kaya pala ito nangyari. Kaya pala nandito ka sitwasyon na to. Kaya pala nangyari yung mga, ang daming obstacles na yun. Niready pala ako dito. Or niligtas ako dito sa mas malaking trouble na mangyayari. Pero looking forward, we cannot really see. Because that is Krishna, the greatest mystic. He's the supreme controller. Sabi ko, even great philosophers are bewildered. The bewilderment of Maharaj Yudhishthira over his past sinful acts and resultant of suffering is completely negated by great authority Bhishma. So, di ba, si Yudhishthira was bewildered. Kasi, emperor nga siya, pero ang dami namatay daw. Feeling niya, sabi niya, siya daw yung may responsibility, person to blame. Si Krishna, pwede niyang ipacify si Yudhishthira, pero hindi. He's preparing na makausap niya si Bhishma dun sa deathbed niya. So ngayon, nagsisimula na yun. Pinapacify ni Bhishma si Yudhishthira sa mga nangyari. Ito yung kakaiba dito. Sila Pandavas are great devotees, high personality, good characteristic na meron sila, virtuous, pero bakit sila yung nag-suffer? Pwede naman yung mga masasama lang o yung mga hindi mo favorite na mga politiko, o kaya yung mga akaaway mong kapitbahay. Bakit di na lang sila yung mag-suffer? Bakit ako pa? Ako yung mabait. Ang dami ko namang activities na mababait Loyal naman ako, faithful naman ako. Bakit ako pa yung nag-suffer? Of course, pag nangyari sa atin yung based on the scriptures and in a humble position, we should see it as karma. Previous lives, hindi natin malalaman, matatandaan. Not this lifetime. We have done something na kailangan bumalik sa atin in certain extent, certain degree or certain grade nung karma natin. But if one is practicing Krishna consciousness, aspiring to be a devotee of Krishna, we know na hindi na yung material nature may hawak ng karma. Kasi Krishna na. So when Krishna is holding that karma, is actually in control. Hindi na 1 plus 1 equals 2 na yung labanan. Depende kay Krishna anong gusto niya maging equal sa karma mo. Pwedeng 0.5 lang dumating sa'yo kasi you're performing Krishna conscious activities, nababawasan na yung karma mo, yung unwanted baggages, ayun yung impression ng karma, nababawasan na yun. And binibigay niya yun, mostly may mga lessons. And a devotee is always praying, Krishna, I'm receiving this tribulation. I'm actually so fortunate. Kasi, kung di dahil sa'yo, it might be a bigger karma. Kung di dahil sa'yo, baka putulin pa ako, baka yun yung karma. Pero dahil sa'yo, nasugatan na lang ako sa aking heel sa paa. Pinapalit lang ni Krishna palagi yung karma. And bakit devotees daw sunod-sunod yung karmas? Actually, binibigay na yon in one go. Para wala ka ng future life. May mga karma pa sa future lives mo kukunin. Hindi na, ngayon na. tapusin na natin to. Para last life mo na. Ayun yung isang explanation nun. Pero this one is one of the greatest explanation. Kasi daw, yung mga great personalities, great devotees, hindi daw sila bound ng karma, yung mga nangyari sa kanila. Ina-arrange ni Krishna yon to glorify these devotees. At the same time, yung Srimad Bhagavatam, it is called Prayakshavad. Pansinin nyo, gaano kahirap tumanggap ng feedback ng room for improvement or criticism galing sa ibang tao. Sobrang hirap, di ba? Minsan, or madalas, meron tayong triggering response na, teka lang, parang di ako ba't niya sinabi sa akin, pinapersonal ba niya ako? Kasi ayaw natin nakikinig. Lalo na, we are here, ang dami nating against authority. We are punk in a lot of ways. Actually, kaya tayo nandito sa material world because we disobeyed authority sa spiritual world. So, may traces tayo nun. Ayaw natin yon, sina-check tayo. Kaya yung Srimad Bhagavatam is Prayakshavad, based on stories, we could relate. We could learn. Na feeling natin, hindi siya dinirekta, pero pag binabasa mo Srimad Bhagavatam, nga no, para sa akin to ha. Pag binabasa mo yung Srimad Bhagavatam, sakto, para sa akin to eh. That is one of the purpose of the scriptures, for us to learn. Medyo indirectly, kasi ayaw natin makarinig galing sa ibang tao. Pero, that's the gift of Krishna. Yung last, hindi pa tayo nasa last. Text number, last verse natin for today. 17. O best among the descendants of Bharat, Yudhishthir, I maintain, therefore, that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should now take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless. Si Yudhishthir na yung emperor. Sabi ni Bhishma, don't shy away from this service. He even mentioned, oh my Lord, you should now take care. Those subordinates sa'yo that was considered helpless. Kasi kakatapos na ng war, yung mga needs nila, you have to pacify them. Number 1 na sinabi na mag-highlight dito, sabi ni Bhishma, you must follow it and accept yung inconceivable plan ni Krishna. I have this rule, parehas kami ng brother ko. Kapag we're doing services or activities, we would exhaust yung mga options, pero without resistance. Kailangan you are sensitive enough na, hindi, plan ni Krishna to, ba't ko ba nilalaban ng todo? May iba siyang plano. We have to hear, we have to listen, we have to pray hard na ano yung plano ni Krishna. And hindi biro na tayo magkakasama tayo rito, napunta tayo dito. Because of our free will and our desire, pero si Krishna arranged all this. Because of His mercy, bakit tayo nandito? Bakit tayo nag-aral ng Srimad Bhagavatam? The mind could resist. Pero ayun niya yung lesson dito. Accept it. Arrangement ni Krishna yan. You know it's not a bad situation to move forward. It is just the mind, our attachment. Yung mga endless reason natin. Endless reason natin para hindi tayo bumitaw ng todo sa pagkakakapit natin. Doon sa mga attachment na yun. Yung thinking natin sa position natin dati, ay, ganito dito sa society na to. Diba? Sa industry na to, sobrang kilala ko. Or sa family na to, I am the highest. Or sa work ko, ito yung ako yung pinaka-boss, ako yung nasusunod. Or even sa mga voluntary group, ako yung parang may position na sobrang helpful. Mandami tayong attachment na yun. Pero we're just a small speck And habang napupunta tayo dun sa path ng service, devotional service, the goal is to become a servant. Pero pag may mga attachment tayo, ang hirap. May suffering. Ba't ganito? Baka pwede namang mag-bargain. Hare Krishna ako pero ito ako. Pwede ba yon? O kaya hindi ko yun lang closet devotee na lang ako. Closet Hare Krishna lang ako. Para magagawa ko pa rin to mga to. Para friends pa rin kami ng mga childhood friends ko. So madami tayong attachment. It doesn't mean na we have to falsely renounce it. Pero ano yung nasa puso natin? Ano yung desire? Ano yung goal sa buhay? And that is an inconceivable plan ni Krishna. Hindi natin malalaman yon. You have to trust Krishna. At ano yung tanong? Yung mind natin sobrang tricky. Meron tayong minsan nilalaban. Meron tayong, just like a story, may isang temple. They're trying to push forward yung isang act na ito yung plano ni Krishna. Ito yung plano ng, they're perceiving plano ng guru. Pero yung guru nag-pass away na. Paano mako-confirm na yun yung plano ni Krishna? Tapos minsan nilalaban natin yon on the ang price is disharmony, offense sa devotees, offense sa guru, offense sa scriptures even, and bewilderment. Because naniniwala tayo, ito yung plano ni Krishna, ito yung plano ni Krishna. Tapos nilalaban natin. And also we are attached sa service, we are attached sa position. Paano mo mako-confirm yon? Minsan may realization tayo. Paano mako-confirm na tama yung realization? Babalik tayo dun sa sinasabi ni Bhishma kay Yudhishthir. Kailangan may guidance ka ng tatlong to. You are guided by the brahmanas, the devotees, saka sa guru and sadhus. You should be guided by the religion, by the scriptures, and of course by Krishna. So these three, kailangan guided ka. So you wouldn't invent, you wouldn't speculate. Kahit sabi mo realization mo yan. Our realizations even should be guided by these three. If not, pwede tayo mag-invento lang ng pwede natin i-justify sa utak natin. Tapos mamimental tayo. Bakit ganun? Bakit ganun yung grupo? Bakit ganun yung nabasa ko? Bakit ganun to yung... If one doesn't have this, hindi niya mako-confirm, lalo na pag may demoniac doubts, na it will destroy the faith, yung bhakti creeper natin. Tapos in the wrong association, even the garb of a devotee, it will destroy. So sobrang importante to have shiksha gurus or mga mentors that you could reveal your mind, na hindi lang sasakyan yung mga doubts natin, but they could actually correct it. Yan, nag-heart sila sa Facebook. Kasi totoo yun. Some could be really attached, even in sa service, even in position, justifying na, devotional service to. O kaya para kay Krishna to. Diba? Kakain ako ng maraming sweets na prasadam. Kasi in-offer ko kay Krishna, favorite niya yung sweets. Sige, diabetes ka dyan. Yan yung tinatawag na matay, ano namin, yung term na jargon ng devotees, na matay sa prasadam. Hindi porket prasadam yan. Sobrang salty, sobrang sweet, or sobrang hindi na healthy, sobra na, tama na. And you cannot justify things. Diba? Yung Krishna consciousness, we should use the heart, we should use also the intelligence. And one way of it is confirming with the said authorities. So these are the experiences of the Pandavas by the guidance ng kanilang teachers, specifically mga great personalities. And one of it is si Bhishma, kasama sa mga Mahajans. Papag-usapan natin in the future sessions yan. Kasama na doon si Narada Muni, na pag-usapan na natin. Tapos si Bhishma, yung Four Kumaras, andyan si Bali, si Janaka. Ang daming character doon na sobrang glorifying, relishing. Sarap i-relish yung life nila. Then we could learn from it. I was talking to my brother last time kasi nagkukwentuhan kami palagi regarding Mahabharat. Mahabharat is a story. Ito nga, kung saan nanggaling tong stories nila. Virtues, stories ng leadership, ng great personalities. Saka yung tribulations. Andun kami sa pag-usapan namin yung tribulations nilang Pandavas. And we could learn. Sabi ng pag-usapan namin, directly we could learn from their stories. Matututo tayo based sa mga story ng mga ibang tao. There is actually a example here that kapag yung mother-in-law, tinuturuan niya yung daughter-in-law niya, hindi niya tinuturuan directly. Ipaparinig niya habang nandun yung daughter-in-law na tinuturuan niya yung daughter niya. Gets? Doon sa daughter niya, tinuturo yung dapat matutunan ng daughter-in-law. Indirect. May mga tao na dapat direct masasabihan, pero may mga bagay na indirect. Lalo na kung bago pa yung relationship ng mother-in-law sa kanong daughter-in-law. Ganon din sa Srimad Bhagavatam. Ganon din yung ibang teachers natin. Sometimes yung instructions will come in the form of a question. Sometimes yung guidance will be in the form of tough love kasi matigas yung ulo. Sometimes it will be a form of direct communication, direct instructions. How to confirm it? It should be with these three. And it doesn't mean na may sinabi yung guru o yung teacher. You should follow it blindly. Confirm. I-confirm mo. Tanong mo, what do you mean by this, Prabhu? How could I serve? Or what do you mean by this, Guru Maharaj? I want to clarify. Kasi we don't have to trust the mind. The mind, very tricky yan. It will tell you it's right, you're doing justice. Mind, na. We should trust much more yung Guru, Sadhu, and Sastra, and Krishna. And even time, sakto time na, even time is irreversible. The only thing to leave yung moment na to is to become a devotee of Krishna, doing sober decisions and sober things in life. Ano yung best and sober activities? That is Krishna consciousness. So we have much more learning ang matutunan dito on the deathbed ni Bhishma. Umpisa pa lang to, ang dami natin natututunan. Verse by verse, tapos pages by pages ng Srimad Bhagavatam and life after life ng mga great personalities we could use in our daily lives. So make use of your time today. Sabi nga, don't find time. Make time to do your sadhana. Chant Krishna's name in your beads, your minimum rounds. Read Srila Prabhupada books. Do your sadhana, your prasadam offering. Do your study, listening to the classes. And sobrang importante yon, making time. That will be few hours lang sa araw natin. The rest is just for maintaining the body. So, kailangan mag-make ng time. Sobrang importante. That is an investment of the day. And it will, for sure, have a great positive spiritual effect on us and our lives and the people around us. Maraming salamat, my dear Prabhus, those who are watching sa ating Facebook Live and ating sa Zoom. Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grandfather Bhishma Dev Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Classes for today. There will be prasadam class tonight, 7 p.m. So, luto na naman tayo. And 7 and 8 o'clock, we will announce a group chat ano yung mga schedules natin. Hare Krishna. Be safe, everyone. Those na nanonood from Batch 4, kita-kita tayo in a few, 9 to 10.